So, doctor, you
How you treat yourself?
going to? Why don't you give us your name and who you are and your radio station, and you know that beautiful-looking black revolutionary brother to your left.
Yes.
We're gonna get.
Are we close enough? You want me to move over to you?
No, we're gonna get his statement too.
All right.
But tell us what's going on with all these vegetables on the table.
Well, first of all, I'm Dr. Jean Kennedy. I am the radio host of Keeping It Real. I have a radio show that's on KFCF, FM 88.1 every Tuesday from 9 till 10 p.m. You can also live stream us on there, kf.org, KFCF.org. You can also live stream us. So what we have here is vegetables coming out of a community garden that this church has, Pastor Mcoy's church. They have the vision to be able to see the importance of putting a garden together for the benefit of the community as well as their church.
Wow. So what type of vegetables you have there? I see some.
And, you're dealing with a city girl, right? But I know watermelon when I see them. This watermelon feels different. This is heavy.
Wow.
How small it is, and it's a heavy, my God, solid. And these are different types of squash.
Okay.
As you can see, here is a bell pepper. Well, it's a pepper. I don't know if it's a bell pepper. Pepper. And look at all of this okra. My gosh, look at this. This is a real deal.
Move that other watermelon back so we can see all the
And look
okra.
at this one. Yes, look at this.
Wow.
This is just as heavy. My Lord, have mercy. And then, of course, you have
Eggplant.
eggplant. That's it. This is the eggplant. So this
Okay.
can make a good meal. And with churches being asked to get into nutritional programs and join in with this obesity thing. This is a wonderful way right here. I think you need to send a copy of this to the White House, to Miss Michelle Obama.
Okay.
So that she can see that, hey, this church is involved definitely with this kind of meal. You're not going to have to worry about obesity.
Okay.
So this is a very, very good start, and it's helping young people.
Is it organic?
This is all organic.
No chemicals.
No chemicals, brother, coming right out of the ground. Whatever is in the ground was already in the ground. So,
All right, have a seat now.
all right.
All right. So, Pastor, this is our pastor, Pastor Paul Mcoy at New Life Church of God. He's been in the ministry for over 27 plus years and been on the front lines and been in the civil rights movement and about every movement that has went on. He's been part of it or in it or something near it. And he's a real a stakeholder in the community and has planted a lot of good seeds in the ministry here. And I'm just proud to be up under his leadership here at the church. By the way, I'm Reverend Harris. You can't see me, but anyway, I'm all on YouTube and Facebook. But so, Pastor, can you tell us what is your vision here with the community garden?
The vision simply is that every church has to be about the principle of self-sufficiency, bringing economic justice. Because it really can't be any social justice unless there's economic justice. And because we live in a valley that is the richest production of agriculture products in the world, the San Joaquin Valley, $1 billion California produces over $1 billion worth of goods, agricultural goods. And very little of that is produced by black folks, but yet we eat every day.
Yes.
And so it's important that we begin to engage our churches, engage especially our young people, is that they're not all going to be basketball and football players, but there is a livelihood that you can engage in producing food. And so we want to start training them young. and have them begin to interest their minds into this area, that they can become productive citizens in it and engage in a very enriching livelihood. There's nothing better than to see black folks producing something positive that everybody in the world needs, and that's food. And so that's what we're all about here, and taking our young folks off the street and engaging them in something they can make some good money, support themselves as well as their up-and-coming families, and feed everyone else. I think that's a winner.
Good. Now, are there any other churches in your community of West Fresno that has a community garden, as you may know of?
Not that I know of. I believe that, do you know of any, Pastor?
None that I know of.
I know that over at Hinton Center, they have a project through West Fresno Health Resource Center. And so they have a garden that they've put together there, but it's still not under the church's piece. They want churches to get involved and have given churches parts of the lots to go in, but many have not taken advantage of that. Still more land than there is growth. And what you've done here is, instead of taking the land and building big mega churches, which is what so many of our churches are doing, you have used part of the land for your building, but the other part you're using that as a community garden. And I think that's what will allow people in the community to want to come closer. They won't necessarily come into a mega building because they feel isolated, like, oh wow, I don't know what's going on in the building, but everybody can relate to a garden. Everyone can go out there, and the garden is a community garden, and it's a way of fellowship. You can't pick these fruits without looking at your neighbor and saying, hey, how you doing? And wow, what a nice watermelon. It causes conversation. And so these are the kinds of things that allows you to know who is around you by this community garden. These were picked for me by the youth. This was not the adults that brought them. These were the children that went out and picked these items and brought them.
So was those watermelons picked today or last week?
Just a few moments ago. The vine is still weeping. You can still see the tears coming out of it. Yes, just
I
was
see.
picked today.
And so, Pastor, it seems like every week that there seems to be a harvest here that we're able to give food to the congregation that they could take home to show that their church invests in them, not just spiritually, but also food-wise, so that they can be able to feed their families. Can you elaborate on that?
That's absolutely true. In fact, I just got a call yesterday. We got an order for all the corn that we have.
Okay.
We have to deliver it by the 21st of this month. And equally important is that they're going to purchase it. And so it really leads to the value of growing food and making money off of it. And so that's growing because there's a number of people, and there's more people calling me at home want a part of this community garden. And they're just amazed that the church is doing this. We're not asphalting the land. We are growing food.
Yes.
And it is so amazing to people that we have the vision to do this.
And I know, Pastor, one of we were talking yesterday at our fundraiser that you were saying that because our church has the land, that we don't have to get permission from no one to plant a garden. Can you kind of fall back on that conversation we had?
The history of Fresno has always been, particularly progressive blacks. Blacks want to do something out of the north. We either have to get permission from some white landowner or some conservative, reactionary black person. And there always have been where they put a stymie to progress. And we are blessed to whereby black folks own this property. They invest in this property. They control this property. They maintain this property. They rule over this property. And you have the kind of leadership here that has a visionary that are doing the necessary things to make the church better, to make it productive, as well as the community in which we are located. Because the scripture simply says where there's no vision, the people perish. And so we got enough death around us. And so it's a requirement now is that people that have vision, and God has blessed us to have vision, that we engage in the vision, make the vision a reality, so that we can start giving life back to the people. And it's amazing, just as these products are sitting here before Dr. Kenddy, you just can see the light that glitters in her eyes and seeing this. I'm ready to follow her home and have a watermelon party.
So Pastor, you I believe about 2 or 3 weeks ago we had picked the first watermelon out of the garden, and we gave you the honor to put the knife in it and open it, and you said something about cutting the heart out. What's the heart?
The heart is the juicy part. it's that which is right in the middle of the watermelon. And when you get that part, oh boy, you in heaven. Juicy, the melon itself, and it's just so refreshing.
Yeah.
So it was just a great honor just to be able to cut that out, to pluck that out, and put it into my dry mouth, and just to devour it.
Right.
But what gave me greater pleasure in doing all that is that the work of the church in producing it, from preparation of the land to the planting of the seeds, in conjunction with the African American farmers here in the valley, is that we have been very successful, blessed to be very successful. And so all of that went through my mind as I put that heart of that melon into my mouth and chewed on.
Yeah, I was stating to our pastor, Dr. Kenddy, I brought some chicken wire over, and I started thinking, I said, wow, I said, got all this chicken wire here, I can build a chicken coop, and we can have some chicken with eggs every Sunday. So the pastor said, well, no, brother, I don't think we want to provide no chickens right now, but because if we're going to have chickens, then we can start gutting the chickens and eating them too, you know. Well, we got a stove in there now.
Well, if you were in the islands, you would have some goats out here. You'd have a cow around here. And you know, the animals go to church with the folks too, you know. They tie up their goats and things right out church here, and their donkey outside. They come in here and have church like you had today. Or when they finish, they walk their goat back home. Or they get on their donkey, or you know, those who have their cars too. But those farmers will come to church, and you know, it's like the animals and the people live together. They eat the same food together.
You said island, now what island?
Well, I'm talking about the island of Jamaica, but the Caribbeans and the Latin countries are very similar. We all have very similar lifestyles, and so your animals live with you. They eat off of your plate, your food. Nothing wastes. What you eat and you don't want, and you give that to the animal, because you're going to eat that animal eventually. So you're eating your same food. So you and the earth becomes one, and then here you've grown in the land. And so this is why it's important to keep the land and have land, and don't have all this concrete around, because it takes away the will of the people. And that's why corporations control people, because if you control your land, they don't have any say so over you. And so this is a good start for the church to really develop this food ministry, this community garden ministry. Who knows where it will take you?
And I know, Doctor, a lot of our sister churches and churches that our pastor network with has been inquiring to come over and look at our garden and kind of get some information on how we put it together and et cetera. And so we're just excited. I was